What's going on, guys? This is Foresight Capital, and today we're going to take a look at 3 stocks that ARK Invest just sold a large portion of their shares of today. Now, we know that ARK Invest loves to provide outsized returns for their clients, so when they're selling stocks in large quantities that they've held for quite some time, it likely means that they don't see as much potential upside in those stocks anymore and are looking to take profits and reallocate that capital elsewhere. Now, you're going to want to stick around until the end because the last 2 stocks that we're going to talk about have actually been market darlings recently and have returned absolutely insane returns all the way throughout 2020 and the beginning of 2021. So it seems that ARK Invest is now pumping the brakes on these stocks, taking some profits, and will likely reallocate that elsewhere. All that I ask is that if this video brings you value, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel because we cover what ARK Invest is buying and selling to get a leg up on the market all the time. Also, if you've yet to check out the Discord for this channel, check that out in the link in the description below. We're coming close to 150 members. I put out watch lists all the time of stocks that I'm looking to buy for the day along with their corresponding charts and the reasons that I'm looking to buy and sell. In fact, one of the picks just today went up 40%. There are also a lot of other great conversations going on, so definitely give that a look. And if you've yet to take advantage of your 4 free stocks from Webull, take a look at that in the link in the description below. Sign up for a new account and deposit $100. It takes all of 5 minutes and you'll get 4 free stocks valued at up to $3,700, which could be a great bonus for your new brokerage account. So, as always with these ARK Invest videos, we're going to be using Lucid Tracking, which I have no affiliation with, but I think is a really great platform that breaks down what ARK Invest is buying and selling in an easy to read way. And the very first stock that we're going to talk about today is ticker symbol MELI, which is MercadoLibre. Now, if you don't know what MercadoLibre is, they're an Argentine-based company that operate an e-commerce platform very similar to an eBay or an Amazon style, but they're actually traded on the NASDAQ. So I've pulled up MercadoLibre's website here. We can see that it feels very Alibaba, AliExpress style with a little bit of Amazon and eBay mixed in. They're a very large company. In fact, they're valued at almost $100 billion. And if we take a look here, they've been on an absolute tear over the past year. We're going to pull up a larger chart here in just a moment. But if we take a look at ARK's selling operation, we can see that they had about 111,000 shares as of last Friday and sold off down to about 101,000 shares. So that is about 8.5% of their overall position in MercadoLibre. So if we pull up their chart here on the larger screen, we can see that over the past year, they've had an absolutely insane rally going from about $400 per share all the way up to over $1,900 per share. So almost nearly 5xing, definitely 4xing in price. And in fact, MercadoLibre is trading near highs and ARK Invest is still selling off about 8% of their total holdings of MercadoLibre. Now, it's not insane to think that they're potentially just taking some profit, but that also means that they likely don't see as much potential upside, and that's reasonable given that the stock is actually 4x'd over the past year. But if it's something that you hold, it's important to take a look and see if the tides are changing with some of the fundamentals about the company and see if it's a good stock to continue holding in the future, because if you've been holding it since March, you've had insane run-up, and it could be time to take some off the top. Now, these last 2 stocks that we're going to talk about here are much more important, I think, to the average retail trader because they've been industry darlings, and the first one is Snapchat. Now, Snapchat has had also an absolutely insane year, and ARK Invest has started shaving off some of their position as well. So we can see that they've steadily been buying since basically the middle of November, and they reached a high of about 3.68 million shares worth of Snapchat and sold that down to about 3.4 million just today. Now that represents shaving off about 6.5% of their total shares of Snapchat. So again, it's not a huge amount, but it's worth noting because Snapchat has had a very similar price action to MercadoLibre, although they're starting to pull back just a bit more. So we can see back towards the beginning and middle of March, they were trading at about $8 per share and hit recent highs of about $57 per share before having a bit of a pullback, and they've been consolidating for the past couple of days right around 50. So Unlike MercadoLibre, Snapchat has given back some of the gains that they had, but by all intents and purposes, they've still more than 4x throughout the year, and actually more than 5x since the beginning of March. So it seems that ARK Invest is looking to shave a bit of their total position of Snapchat, not seeing as much potential upside. And I'll be the first one to admit that I ignored Snapchat when it reached lows of $8 per share because I thought that the company just had no path to profitability. And since then, they've had some absolutely insane runs and some good earning reports and seem to really be turning the company around on a path towards profitability. So overall, it's been a great investment for the past year, and potentially it still has some upside, but it does seem that ARK Invest is looking to shave their position just a bit. So something to keep an eye on there if you're a holder of Snapchat or we're looking to buy into some momentum, because it seems that the momentum has tapered off at least over the past couple of weeks. Outside of the random spike to about $57 per share, it's really been trading between about $48 per share and $54 per share. And the last stock that I wanted to talk about here is actually potentially the most surprising, but not entirely seen to be taking profits on, and that is actually Tesla. So we know that Cathie Wood loves Tesla. She's been very outspoken about the love for Tesla and for ARK Invest propensity to buy Tesla. Now, we also know that Tesla's had an insane year, and ARK Invest today just sold about 3.1% of their total shares. It's important to note, though, that they actually held their highest number of shares of Tesla back just before the Christmas holiday and have sold some of them off. Now, part of that was as part of rebalancing towards the end of the year, but they've slowly been decreasing their overall position in Tesla. Now, between Friday the 15th and today, Tuesday the 19th, they actually sold off about 3.1% of their total shares. Now, I don't have to pull up the chart here for you to know that they've had an absolutely insane year, really going from lows of about $50, and this is adjusted for the split, all the way up to $844. We're starting to see a bit of an overextension, I feel. As we can see, the 200 period moving average is still down at about 375, and then the 50 period moving average is down to about 620. So we're very far overextended on both the 50 period, or from the 50 period and 200 period moving averages, which means that the run up for Tesla is probably a bit overextended. Now, fundamentally, great company, and I actually put Tesla in my stocks to buy and hold for all of 2021. I don't think that they're going to collapse back to the $500 or $400 levels like some people think that they will, because they're really turning themselves around fundamentally and showing a path to profitability even without the carbon credits, which I know is a big thing that people mention as really Tesla's only form of profit currently. Now, I think that they're a great company, but we have seen some consolidation over the past couple of days, and it seems that ARK Invest is kind of taking some of the profits off at the top. No matter what, when a company goes from $40 per share up to $8.50, it's probably reasonable to take some of the profits. But it is curious, or I am curious to see how ARK Invest treats their Tesla position moving forward, because within their portfolios, it's reached highs of 9 to 10% of the overall investments within any of the ARK ETFs. So now that they're shaving that off, it'll be interesting to see what stocks they're buying in the future. And in fact, I plan to cover what stocks they're buying in future videos, potentially redistributing some of the capital that they're collecting from selling off these shares. So I hope that this video brought you some value and shed some light on some companies that you may want to watch. If you hold them already, it seems that ARK Invest is at least taking some profit, if nothing else, but potentially also doesn't see as much upside in these stocks as they've had, which is to be expected after they've gone up 400 to 500% over the past year. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on if you hold any of these currently and if you'll be also taking profits, or if you're looking to buy the dips that are potentially caused by the news of ARK Invest selling getting out. I really appreciate you watching until the end, and if you've yet to check out the Discord, don't forget to check that out. There's a lot of great conversations going on in there, and make sure to claim your 4 free stocks from Webull as well. Thanks for watching until the end, and catch you in the next one.